Hello and welcome back to Unknown Model Reviews. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Dragon Neo Smart Kit Sturmgeschütz 3 Ausrung G, early production Kursk 1943. Boy, that's a mouthful. So to begin, I want to mention a little context with this kit and sort of mention where it came from. So they've been making these for a while. They're pretty good Stugs. They were the best for a while. They've been surpassed now, and I'll talk about that later. But for a long time, they included sort of a rudimentary interior here, no transmission or anything. But this kit changed that because, as you will see, it adds in an exclusive new transmission set and a whole bunch of other interior parts, which I will get to. So, without further ado, considering that the box is pretty plain, only mentioning, well, NeoTrack, which is just Link and Link that they're rebranding. Yeah, there's nothing else of interest on this box. So to begin, there's some painting guides. Pretty standard stuff. So we're going to start here. These are, from what I can tell, the new sprues that are exclusive to this kit. So you can see they're a little damaged. Their packaging is pretty bad on this, I'm not going to lie. But as you can see here, this is all new interior parts, I think. I'm not 100% on this. But I figure so because the transmission is here. So to get a beginning here, you can see there's some ammo holders, potentially fuel tanks of some kind, some ridiculously good diamond plates, just very, very fine. That'll take in a wash amazingly. I don't know what these are. I think they might be some kind of grenade, and then some slide molding. Maybe that'll focus. Yeah, it seems like to me like these are grenades of some kind. Stick grenades maybe. Some more parts here, a new front plate of some kind. I don't even know what half of this stuff is, it's so complicated. I think this could be a new chair. And yeah, so that's it for that sprue. And then this is the one that I believe has some of the transmission and differential bits. You can see them here. All this stuff. Also some more shells, potentially fuel cans. Some riveted parts, I don't even know what these are. Some more of that lovely diamond plate. Get a real good look at that. That's fantastic. And yeah, it's pretty plain up here. You can see the packaging here is a little bit on the strange side. I mean, it's this giant bag for all these. They're just these little new sprues. It's very weird. Dragon's gone in a strange direction from back when they the older days where they had the dragon card, which was very nice. This is the clear parts. I don't want to get out to scratch it. You can see there's quite a few periscopes in here. I don't even think you use most of these. Or these are vision blocks. These are periscopes. Some kind of viewport, all sorts of stuff. And a headlight. I think this is actually a tail light, and so is this. Yeah, I think that's what those are. Now we're going to get on to what contains the gun. This here, as you can see, contains the gun and a very nice slide molded, I think it's MG34 or 32, I can't quite tell. But if you, if it'll focus, there is a slide molded, very nice barrel in there. And then some other parts for that. This all looks very good. There's the muzzle brake, slide molded too. Very, very nice. And the mantlet. Now we get on to some more parts. It's all a little peculiar in the organization department here, considering I'm seeing some suspension parts with the gun. Oh, and part just broke off. This here, some kind of box. Anyway, you can see here, we have some suspension sprues, a rear plate. A lot of this may be reused. Lots more suspensions and very nice welds on this. It's very good in general. And then this one appears to have a lot of the interior, because I see here the parts of the breech. Lots of radios, tons of radios, and the part of the mounting for the gun. And once again, that really nice diamond plating. It's very hard to catch on camera. Very, very fine. Yeah, this all looks to be very good. Can't wait to dive into that. And You'll excuse the delays here. I'm just rebagging these to try and keep them safe, even though these bags aren't great. Here we have their new track, which I'm probably not going to be using because I have access to these 3D printable, workable tracks for Sturmgeschütz that I got from Tank Brusher, who's a fellow YouTuber, who has a Patreon where if you go to his Patreon, you can get a ton of German tank tracks, just all sorts. He's most recently released King Tiger tracks, in fact, and they are quite fantastic to see. This is more of the same. The detail is good. I just don't particularly like these when I have the option to 3D print my own that are workable. I'm a bit of a nut for workable stuff, if you couldn't tell already. And then this is an interesting part that I do actually like about this kit, in that it does technically have workable suspension, even though the tracks aren't. Because you see here, these torsion bars are separate, and you can make it in such a way, I believe, that you can make the thing actually have working suspension, with which, when combined with workable tracks, could make a pretty interesting model, I think. The only kicker is, of course, that you'd have to modify the heck out of the pistons. You can see some very good detail here, some final drives, all sorts of good stuff. Very nice wheels. Very thin, very precise. The sprue is the same. Okay, so this is a pretty big allotment of sprues. This just appears to be all sorts of details. Lots of tools and smoke grenades maybe, and a ton of toe hitches and S-hooks and all sorts of good stuff. This could be very useful if it doesn't all get end up being used on this, which, knowing Dragon, I doubt it will. This appears to be the fenders, which have some very nice diamond plating on them. It's very hard to see. There it is. Some really nice welds on here, all sorts of good stuff. The upper engine deck and the exhaust. And last but not least, we have the upper superstructure with some beautiful welds. No texture of any kind, but some very, very good welds. And more of that on the top here. This is just fantastic. And lastly is going to be the photo etch, which is a little sparse. It really should be more, but they've sort of cut down on it. They used to have some niceties that they no longer do. They still have the metal tow cable, which is great. There's a couple modern Stug kits that don't even have that. So, metal tow cable. Very nice looking decals. Simple, I like that. And then some really good grills, but this I don't like. These are rings for the idler wheel. They used to be solid, and now they're cut up into a bunch of pieces to make it all cheaper. It's kind of scummy. But it shouldn't be too much trouble. It's been done and also been talked about on YouTube by Panzermeister 36. And this here is the addendum sort of thing that tells you how to assemble the transmission, because I didn't bother to add it to the instructions. Pretty interesting. And then here are the instructions, which I'm going to sort of thumb through. You can see why there's so many clear vision blocks there. Some radios going in. Lots and lots of detail. This does look like quite a fun build, and I do enjoy a good Dragon highly detailed build. There's all that internal goodness, these tracks which I'll be replacing, and that's it. That is my review of the Dragon 1-35 Stug 3 OSF-G Neo Smart Kit. So if you're still sticking around, I do want to make sort of another point to this. This kit is not cheap. It can go for a lot of money. It's hard to get in the States. This one cost me something like $104, which is insane for what it is, because at one point it was the closest to a full interior Stug. But after I bought it, of course, this bad boy came out. This is Ryfield Model's full interior Stug 3 with workable tracks and workable suspension. So if you're in it for that and not like the fun build of a dragging kit, and you do want it to have some movability and all of that, I would highly suggest this. I have a review of it on my channel. But also to that, there's also Stug 3Gs now from Border Model and Mini Art, which are both full interiors, which are very fantastic looking. So the Neo kit's kind of a little bit on the obsolete side, but I still like it good enough. I think it'll be a fun build. Anyway, yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the review.